What's up, you guys? It's your man E, and I'm here with Sally. We're going to be working on some of her leash communication. A lot of times when you're struggling with a dog or you're trying to reach a certain training goal, it's really important that you take this time to get away from high distractions and just make sure that your leash communication is clear. So by doing these exercises that I'm going to show you, you are going to practice your leash work with your dog and master leash communication. You're going to notice that whenever the leash is tight, it's very clear to me and to Sally that I am telling her something with the leash. I'm asking something of her. I'm needing her to do something. Uh-oh. And when she starts doing that, immediately the leash is loose. So even right now when I'm standing here making this video, the leash is loose. That's the most important thing to notice, is that when the leash is tight, we are telling our dog something. When the leash is loose, the dog is doing great, essentially. But when it tightens, they should look up at us and be like, hey, what's going on? So all we're going to do is just go in the direction that we feel like going. And when we sense the dog going in an opposite direction, we are going to go in the opposite direction that we feel like the dog is attempting to go in. And we're going to use the leash to show the dog how to turn, change directions, and re-engage with us, like this. Sally, come on, sweetie. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Yes, good girl. Come on, sweetie. Come on, sweetie. Good girl. Come on, Sally. Good girl. So you'll notice at one point Sally was kind of curious. She was smelling. I tightened the leash. I just allowed the leash to remain tight, and she moved towards me and she made the leash loose. When you're doing these exercises, you can use food, but it's important that you have the dog somewhat distracted by their environment. As you could see here, this was a very low level distraction area for Sally. She wasn't particularly distracted by the environment. Now I'm going to have this dog here walking around, and I'll walk Sally around this dog. If you had a 2-dog household, or let's say you have a pet or any sort of distraction that you're trying to help your dog work on, this is how you can do that same exercise in a slightly higher distraction level. Come on, Sally. Come on, Sally. Come on, sweetie. Come on, Sal. Come on, Sal. Come on, Sal. Come on. Good. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. So you could see there, I'm using the verbal marker word come on, and I'm using the leash pressure to make sure that she's going to come towards me eventually. If she's resistant, I'm just waiting. I'm letting her feel that pressure, and I'm letting her make the decision on her own to turn and come in the direction that the leash is pulling her. Sally, come. Good girl. I'm not repeating come or let's go or no many times with the attempt that that is going to somehow influence her behavior. You may have heard me say it a couple times, but it was really more to mark the fact that she was doing it and to say, yes, good job, that's right. That's the command. That's come on, let's go. Good girl. This is also a great time to practice using those marker words. So you can say, Sally, come on. You pull on the leash, she comes to you. Good. Sally, let's go. You apply a little bit of leash pressure, she moves in the right direction. The leash becomes loose. Good girl. It's really important that you master that leash tighten, leash loose dynamic as a form of communicating with your dog if you're going to accomplish the goal of getting your dog to be at whatever level of training you need them to be. The leash is an essential part of that. Okay, thanks. I'll see you guys later.